What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Deion Sanders exposed Jackson State a few months ago as an incompetent institution. And of course, I went to an HBCU myself. I dealt with the financial aid office being late, people losing stuff, rude people in administration, unsafe environments, ghetto ass police officers, things like that. And most of you who have been to HBCU, you understand it. And then until you go into a PWI, it's different. For example, if you go to Texas Southern and then go across the street to University of Houston, it's like night and day. All right. And Deion, his situation was incompetence, fraud, lying, drama, and not being underappreciated. That was his argument. Brother LAR Movement shared this with me about Texas Southern, who was also in the SWAC, just like Jackson State. And it involves Police Chief of Texas Southern University, Mary Young. Okay. Now, I want to play this particular whole clip, and then I'm going to come back and tie it back to what Deion was saying. All right.
Tonight, TSU's police chief is speaking only to Fox 26 after suing the university, claiming retaliation. Now, she tells us the university is trying to let her go, all because she spoke up.
But I'm not one to allow you to just make up things about me, especially my name. And when that happened, I just couldn't allow it to happen.
Texas Southern University Police Chief Mary Young says she's suing the university so the truth can come out. She claims her job is in jeopardy because she told her officers to stop acting as personal assistants for TSU President Dr. Lacia Crumpton Young.
They're not there to be an errand person. They're not there to take her to the beauty shop. They're not there to take her to the grocery store. They're not there to do any of those things.
Is that what was happening?
Those things were occurring. There was even a complaint that was called to me about one of my officers holding up the president's ball dress and carrying her purse. And her husband is standing next there. It just looks very disrespectful. So I kind of brought that to their attention, like, we cannot do that.
Shortly after admonishing officers, Chief Young says an anonymous fraud complaint was filed against her, alleging she'd approved overtime pay for officers for hours they never worked.
I don't commit crimes.
So you think this is all retaliation?
Oh, I know it's retaliation. I know it's retaliation, Jonathan, and I'll be able to prove that.
The police chief says several weeks ago she was informed by TSU's president the Board of Regents planned to let her go based on the complaint and an audit. Young's attorney Ben Hall says the university broke the law.
She is a police officer of over 2 decades. TSU knows that, but chose not to comply with the statute. The statute says she must be provided with a complaint. It must be signed. She must have a reasonable opportunity to respond. None of that was done.
But a statement from TSU reads in part, a signed complaint was provided to Mary Young on August 25th of this year, and goes on to say the university will continue to handle this personnel matter and allegations of fraud within the appropriate private and legal forums and out of the media. Thursday, a judge granted a temporary restraining order preventing TSU from taking any action against the police chief until both sides can present their case.
The temporary restraining order was needed because I got tired of coming to work every day, and my staff is wondering, like, Chief, you hear the rumor? You hear the rumor? What rumor? It was always a rumor. Oh, they're saying this is your last day.
Now, the attorney, Ben Hall, for the chief, the police chief, says that he has proof that he will present in court if he needs to that there was no fraud involving overtime pay. Also, I'll put TSU's full statement up on our website, fox26houston.com.
All right. Now, I want to go back to Pink Book Lessons video, play what Deion was saying in that particular interview at Jackson State, and then come back.
They may not like it, but I ain't lying. How can we have 60,000 people in the darn stadium? You talking about we sold out, and I checked the receipts and we done sold 28,000 tickets. Now y'all better find out who's stealing, because that affects my pocket. You may not like it, but I ain't lying. So it's a lot of stuff like that, and it's more that goes on that we got to address, and I just have the audacity to address it.
So here's what's going on. As you guys know, I don't know who's right, and I don't care, right? The fact that you have a female police chief, Mary Young, and I'm pretty sure that Mary Young is a very educated woman. You cannot be a dummy and get a police chief at a university, is having issues with Dr. Leisha Crumpton Young, who she is saying is having the police officers basically run errands for her. Now, I know that is popular for prominent blacks to do it. They do it here in Africa. They do it in America. So it's not uncommon. All right. Now, she's a engineer by trade. But what you see is the big picture is Mary Young is saying that she got hit with this fraud because this lady was being petty towards her. And they're trying to get her fired because she spoke out against it. Which is something that, if that is true, regardless, is stupid. It's incompetence. And the thing about it is this: we're not dealing with the Pookies and the Ray Rays. It'd be different if I'm dealing with somebody that has this kind of situation that's broke, that don't have anything. Then that makes sense. But here's the problem. We're dealing with educated blacks that are having this discussion. All right? And there's so many times we have, you know what, the only problem in the black community, it's with the Pookies and the Ray Ray generation. You know, it's they're the problems. And you know what, shout out to Brother George, he helped me realize that it's just not Pookies and Ray Rays that's the problem. The problem in the black world is also with the educated blacks. Would you say that Umar Johnson is a Pookie and a Ray Ray? He's a doctorate degree, but he's terrible. A lot of these HBCU'S are full of highly qualified people. The thing about it is this: blacks, educated blacks, they don't know how to. Now, I'm just going to be real. When they work in the outside world, in the white world, they know how to be productive. When they get around their own people, now all of a sudden we don't know how to produce anymore. All of a sudden we know how to just, let's give the least environment and the least work ethic we can in our own group. When we go and work for other groups, we do a great job. Go to the World Bank, go to the IMF, UN. Oh yeah, we can do great work. Come back to the HBCU'S and we don't know how to do nothing no more. We don't know how to work anymore. We don't know how to do anything anymore. And we blame Pookies and Ray Rays, but then we're real quiet when these folks can't do nothing at all because they can't. And you think that somebody that, imagine you're Deion Sanders and you have the school going around, you have this incompetence. Do you want to bring your program there if you're smart? And I'm just being real. Do you want to deal with this sort of level of incompetence? I just don't think that a guy wants to deal with this kind of stuff. Who wants to deal with that? I'm going to tell you, it doesn't make sense. Most brothers that got talent don't want to deal with that. They don't at all. It don't make no sense. No wonder why. And again, I'm not, I would rather build my own and deal. But if you're dealing with it, I can see why some of the brothers don't want to have a heart like me. I would probably still deal with that because of my bias towards the blacks and give them the benefit of the doubt. But everybody don't do that. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of Slavery Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.